What if all the volcanoes on Earth erupted at once? Would humanity survive, or would we become toast? Let's break it down. Earth has around 1,500 active volcanoes on land, and there are likely tens of thousands more on the ocean floor. Some are gentle, like the Hawaiian volcanoes, which ooze lava slowly. Others, like Mount Vesuvius or Yellowstone, have the potential to make your day significantly worse. And then there's the supervolcano category, which basically says, what if a regular volcano but dialed up to 11? Now, if all these volcanoes erupted at the exact same time, the results would be dramatic. First, let's talk lava. A typical volcanic eruption releases anywhere from a few million to a billion cubic meters of lava. Multiply that by thousands of volcanoes, and we're looking at enough molten rock to cover entire continents. But lava isn't the biggest problem. Unless you're standing directly in its path, it's slow enough to outrun. The real trouble is what's happening above the volcanoes. Volcanoes don't just release lava. They spew ash, gases, and aerosols into the atmosphere. If all the volcanoes erupted simultaneously, we'd inject a truly absurd amount of ash into the sky, enough to block out the sun. This phenomenon is called a volcanic winter, and it's as cheerful as it sounds. Without sunlight, temperatures would plummet, crops would fail, and ecosystems would collapse. Basically, it'd be like taking all the worst parts of winter and cranking them up to extinction level event. Then there's the sulfur dioxide. Volcanoes love to belch this stuff out, and when it combines with water vapor, it forms sulfuric acid. This means acid rain, but on a global scale. Oceans would become more acidic, damaging marine life, while forests and crops on land would take a beating too. And let's not forget the carbon dioxide. All those eruptions would release enough CO2 to accelerate global warming, right after the volcanic winter froze everything. Nature's way of saying, surprise, double disaster. But what about humanity? Could we survive? Well, it depends. If you're near an erupting volcano, survival isn't likely. Pyroclastic flows, basically avalanches of superheated gas and ash, can move at hundreds of kilometers per hour. They're unstoppable, and they don't take kindly to obstacles like buildings or humans. For those farther away, survival might be possible, but not pleasant. Crops failing means food shortages, and the ash would make breathing difficult even for people with access to masks. Air travel would be grounded indefinitely, as volcanic ash is notoriously bad for jet engines and the infrastructure we rely on for modern life. Electricity, water, communications would take a massive hit. Interestingly, Earth has been through something vaguely similar before. Around 75,000 years ago, the Toba supervolcano erupted, triggering a volcanic winter that lasted several years. It's believed to have reduced the human population to just a few thousand individuals. But even Toba was a single volcano. Multiply that by every active volcano on the planet, and you're looking at a disaster orders of magnitude worse. In the end, if all the volcanoes erupted at once, Earth would become a pretty inhospitable place. The air would be toxic, the ground would be unlivable, and the climate would swing between extremes. Humanity might survive in small, isolated pockets, but it'd be a long, brutal fight. So maybe let's all appreciate the fact that volcanoes erupt on their own schedules and not as part of some apocalyptic group project. In conclusion, the idea of all volcanoes erupting at once is a fun hypothetical. But if it ever starts happening, my advice is simple: run. And then keep running, and maybe learn to farm mushrooms because they're about the only thing that might grow in a post-eruption world.